Hour of Code.
Hello there. We are live. And we're going to know if we have some viewers once that 0 changes to 1 or 2.
Let's do some coding.
Yeah.
Let's do Star Wars.
Okay, well, we're going to do some coding. Careful with that. That HDMI.
See
welcome. If anyone's joining us, no, they can't see that. If anyone's joining us, welcome to the very first Brilliant Labs live broadcast tutorial session. If there weren't enough words in that title, then we'll add a couple more next time. This is my friend, coworker, and executive director of Brilliant Labs Atlantic, Jeffrey Wilson. And while we're waiting for some viewers, we're going to go through and share a screen and play a little bit of Hour of Code. So if Jeff gives me back mouse control, we'll go over here and do some sharing a screen. Oh!
Hi, I'm Kathleen Kennedy, and I'm the producer of Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Hi, Kathleen.
Today you'll be working with one of our stars, BB-8. BB-8 is a spherical droid. Everything he does and
We should build one of
movement
those.
he makes is controlled by computer software. Computer science impacts every industry, from marketing to healthcare to film. In fact, hundreds of computer engineers work together to make a film like The Force Awakens.
Hi, I'm Rachel Rose. I'm a senior R&D engineer at ILM, and I lead the animation and creature development team. In The Force Awakens, I'm responsible for helping the artists develop rigs, which are the parts of the character that move, that allow the character to look very believable in a galaxy far, far away. In the next hour, we're going to build our own Star Wars game that will teach you the basic concepts of programming. Usually programming is all text, but we're going to use blocks here so that we can drag and drop to write programs. Under the hood, you're still creating code. After you try the basics with blocks, we'll switch you to JavaScript, one of the most popular programming languages on the web. To start off, we're going to work with Ray to program BB-8 to walk to collect all of the scrap parts. Your screen is split into 3 parts. On the left is the Star Wars game space, where code will run. The instructions for each level are written below the game space. This middle area is the toolbox, and each of these blocks is a command that BB-8 can understand. The white space on the right is called the workspace, and this is where we're going to build our program. If I drag the move left block to our workspace and press run, what happens? BB-8 moves left 1 block on the grid.
It's pretty easy to follow.
To do something after the left block,
So what do you think? Should we exit this video and do some code?
Let's try.
Alrighty.
And I'll drag it underneath my move left.
So puzzle 1 out of 15. Now, something that I'm gonna keep talking and give mouse control over to Jeff here. Something that I found, I don't know about you, Jeff, last year when I was running these coding sessions with my students, was some of them powered through all 15 puzzles under an hour. But what's nice is there are several different tutorials that we have a chance for our students to follow through. So if you have students who power through in under or over an hour or under an hour, they can move on to the Frozen activity or the Minecraft activity or any of the third-party software activities out there.
The tutorials, they kind of scale up in difficulty. So that's right. If they finish one, they can move on to the next.
So the BB, right, Jeff's having a little trouble finishing or figuring out what the object, there we go, the objective is. If your students ever forget what the goal of the activity is, they can actually go up and just click on the 1, and that will remind them. We need to get all that scrap metal.
It's also a little picture.
There we go.
The window.
So you could have read that without resetting the code, right? We work so well together. Nice. Success. Now, before the official start of the Hour of Code, all of your students can log on. I guess tomorrow would be the last day to do this, or over the weekend if they wanted. They can try any of these games. However, as a teacher, what you're going to have to do is register all of your students prior to the start of your classroom session. And you don't actually do that through the code.com website. You have to go to the parent website, code.org, and register all of your students. The benefit of registering your students is that you're able to track their progress throughout their hour of code, or if they continue outside of the classroom. So when you're setting up a class event, do you get the students to just play the games, or do you get the teachers to register all the students and then they log in individually to their accounts?
Depends on the age grades. Sometimes it's more of a task to get the little ones to sign up. It takes a little too long to register before they try the actual coding.
Right,
So in that case, you can just get the certificate of participation after the fact,
right.
because that is certainly one of the advantages. But yeah, teachers who want to track the ongoing progress would have to get them.
So if students, or if teachers just want a quick get in there and get the kids coding on the week December 7th through 13th, they can just register an event and click try it.
Exactly.
They don't need to necessarily register all 28 students.
Correct.
Okay.
I mean, ideally they would, but we all know how school networks and
Right.
certain things operate.
Right.
So that isn't a possibility.
So school networks, let's say that I'm in a school where I'm all set up with 30 odd devices and I'm ready to go and the network goes down. What do I do?
Well, the school network or the code.org website.
Well, either,
Because
that's
there's a
right.
potential for both. So
I heard that there were
there's some issues last year.
some unplugged activities in the
Absolutely.
event that something goes down.
There are multiple activities. I'm wondering if we can bring some of them up.
Yeah, we can.
There's the human robot, which basically you can partner students in groups of 3 or 4, if you like. You find a blindfold. The students work together to develop a series of commands to control the human robot. The teacher can then set the obstacle course in a classroom without the robot being able to see, so his blindfold's there. And then the job of the group is to navigate their human robot with the commands they develop as a group through the obstacle course. And then they can take turns, change the obstacle courses a few times. And it just teaches how to think computationally and be very analytic.
Okay, so we're just going to pull up some samples of the unplugged activities. Ah, we have our first viewer. Welcome. Just bear with us 1 second while we pull up the unplugged activities and take a look. So I'm going to go over here and change the screen share. Oh, hello. There we are. And the unplugged activity is there. Since we now have 1 viewer, I'm going to open up our Q&A, and I believe while you're viewing, you can actually ask questions. Jeff and I apologize. We are definitely using that 1 viewer as guinea pigs. This is a service that Brilliant Labs would like to offer in the future, and we're trying to get used to this Google Hangouts live broadcast function. Alrighty, so they left. You left.
Is this being recorded for future?
Yeah. I think we'll go on and delete it though. So present to everyone. This isn't what I wanted though. This isn't a list of.
No. If you go to outdecode.ca, HEURE, DECODE, yeah, let's see. Scroll down a little bit. Did you know we did this for the phone
I had no
population?
idea.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's scroll down a little bit. I've been busy. A little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher. Whoa, a little bit higher. There's a few of them here.
Okay.
I think we'll take you to the one you were just
sorry.
at. Then there's a card one over here, and then rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, this is cool. Okay, so
And then from there you can get some others.
that's good for teachers to know. There are actual PDF instruction manuals that you can print out and have ready. Neat. So we're back with 1 viewer.
Hello, viewer.
Hello, viewer. Viewer, if you have any questions, by all means, add them into the questions bank. I'm not sure if you even see an area to add them in for the questions bank.
Right now we're just sharing some unplugged activities in case networks crash or you don't have access to computers. And if you're a francophone teacher, then please specify that your francophone will do our best to address your concern. Alors, si vous parlez seulement le français, s'il vous plaît, indiquez ça dans la colonne avec les questions, puis on va adresser vos concerns.
So maybe what we'll do here is we were playing around a little bit with the Star Wars drag and drop graphic block interface code. We'll go through how to sign up as a teacher. There are a lot of activities on here. Almost the hour of code focuses exclusively on drag and drop block-based coding. And many students and teachers alike will say, this isn't coding, this isn't text-based, this is drag and drop blocks. It's important to remember though that this is still, when you get to the fundamentals, is still coding, right? You're not hammering out syntax-based text or traditional or conventional coding, but it still runs the same commands as those traditional coding languages do.
And if they actually want to see the code that they wrote, then after every kind of exercise, you have an opportunity to look at the code that the drag and drop generated.
And we'll flip back over here because I think that's an important point. Mitch Resnick, who is the founder of Scratch, or his lab down at MIT, created Scratch, and that's a question that he always gets. And what's interesting is Dr. Resnick was on a panel conversation the other day that I logged in and followed, and some of the top Ivy League computer science schools are actually adopting drag and drop graphic user interface blocks as a means to link computational computing to physical computing. And students have a hard time with that as well. The idea that, oh, I'm coding, I'm just doing this little funny activity, but there's so much more beyond that that they can do and link to a physical robot moving across the floor. So drag and drop coding, it really gets students creating the program that they want to run in order to reach their goal rather than focusing on syntax errors and things like that.
And back in the day, Scratch was also questioned quite a bit, like what's the language running behind the scenes to power Scratch? But their response was that Scratch is its own language, so don't worry about what's making it run behind the scenes.
Yeah, absolutely. As you can see, while we're talking here, Jeff progressed to puzzle 4 of his hour of code, and the workspace changed where you have your toolbox here, but over on the right-hand side, it actually has converted the block program, or sorry, the block commands into JavaScript commands. And so it shows the diversity between the blocks as well as the JavaScript.
And you can even write it instead of drag it.
Hey, there we go. So yeah, as you move on, it gives students the ability to advance in the programming. So why don't we show the one viewer, if you are a teacher viewer, it may be our respective parents because we shared this on Facebook, which would be, I did. Don't you like how I threw you in there too?
I did not share this on Facebook.
He did not. Yeah, there we are. All right, so let's show teachers how they would sign up, first register for an event, and then sign up for classes. All right, so let's go back to hourofcode.com, and we can simply sign up for an event, and that's down here. And once you fill this in, all this does is it registers your event and it tags what province you are in, and it enters your numbers into the overall prize that Brilliant Labs is affiliated with. While I get this set up, Jeff, do you want to explain some of the prizes that we have up for grabs?
Sure. Well, through the code.org site, you'll get some either iTunes cards or Amazon gift cards. But here in New Brunswick, we're giving away. We're going to have a draw after we get the final results from code.org in January about all the participating classrooms, and we'll do some random prize draws. So we got some iPads up for grabs. We've got some coding projects that we're willing to support teachers within classrooms with students, and also a grand prize of a all expenses paid trip to Code Camp at the Snyder Mountain Ranch, and that will take place in May.
Wow.
So 2.5 days of room and board, meals, sleeping, transportation for a whole classroom and a teacher and a couple of chaperones, and there will be multiple coding events during the Code Camp, and also horseback riding and mountain biking and a bunch of outdoor activities as well.
Neat. So lots of things that you can gain for your classroom here. I'm not actually going to click sign up because we don't really want to register ghost events. But once you hit sign up, it's going to bring you to the how-to section of the website, and it'll take you through step-by-step how to do this. What I kind of want to focus on here is if we go to the parent website, code.org, this is where you can actually track all of your students' progress. And yes, you will have to register all of your, sorry, that's not what I wanted to do. If we click on Teach, here we go. No, this isn't what I want either. Hour of Code students, educators see your full. How did we do this? Sign in, how about that? There we go. Already have an account, sign in, wanting to try coding without signing up, that's what we've been doing. And haven't joined yet, we sign up. There we are, that's what we want. Maybe we should share that website on our Brilliant Labs blog post following up. So once you sign up your students, or if you want to sign up your students, you can click on Student Sign Up, and it's going to ask you for your name and student sign up, no, teacher sign up. There we are. Your school information, and then it'll take you through step-by-step how to register all of your students. Shall we do it? I'm going to use a I like how I start sentences and not finish them.
Your cap locks are on.
I'm using emotive words. All right, sign up. Here we go. So this is the teacher dashboard, and what I really like is you can click on your student accounts and logins, and it'll ask you what would you like your students to log in using. It will generate passwords, or you can actually use a picture, and there's some interesting things there. So if I want to create a new class, we can put in our section name, let's say grade 8A, login types, words are fine, input your dates, and we're going to do the Star Wars course and save. Done. Save. If we now click on Manage Students, we can add multiple students. I believe you can upload. No, you can't. Type or paste the names. There we are. So if you have a class list or a comma-separated values spreadsheet, you can easily copy and paste and enter those. So let's just register a few students. Let's go with some names here. We'll put Jeff in there. We'll put Janine in there. We'll put Natasha in there. David in there. Karen in there. Chris in there. And Peter in there. Here we go. So those are all the students that I've registered. You can fill in the age, the gender, if you would like. That's fine. Now, down at the bottom, if you want very quick access for your students to get on the Hour of Code and start coding during the Hour of Code week next week, you just hit print out cards with your students' login information, and they should generate. Nope. Why didn't they?
I don't.
Have you done this before?
No.
Share the section sign-in page with your students. What is this going to do?
You get code.
Welcome, you have signed up successfully. Oh, well, that's nice. I don't actually have the, I wonder if it's a limitation of my screen resolution here. Print out cards with your auto-generated gender. Oh, here we go. Yes, excellent. I must not have hit save all. So here we go. We just cut those up, give them out to your students. They can log directly on to the studio.code.org website, put in their credentials, and that will take them directly to the Star Wars Hour of Code activity, because if you remember, I selected that back in the Student Accounts and Programs section. View Progress. And then when you click on here, the View Progress, you can actually see all of your students. It's important to remember that this functionality of code.org will not only be open next week during the Hour of Code, but it'll actually be open indefinitely. I logged into my previous class from last year's progress the other day, and all of the stats were still there. Okay.
Any questions?
No. Well, I think that's, I know we've only done 15 minutes, and I thank you very much for these 2 viewers. Jeff and I did, well, Jeff supported the creation of a tutorial that Brilliant Labs has created using this studio. And if you want to check that out, it's quite lengthy, 20 minutes. You can definitely feel free to fast forward within that tutorial. There's a lot of information there, and it'll take you through step by step, including how to answer the question, what is code? That many people are asking because, you know, you hear that 4-letter word all the time, code, code, code. You can find that tutorial just by following our URL, brilliantlabs.ca. Are we missing anything, Mr. Wilson?
No, but these 2 viewers have tuned in because they had questions or just out of curiosity. If they do have questions, it'd be good for them to get an opportunity to try to type something, but otherwise we can't.
Yeah, well, we'll stay on here just for another minute or so because there may be something that I'm not clicking in order to have our viewers ask questions. Why is my work calling? Could they be one of the viewers?
Should you answer it live?
I don't know. Probably not. My BCMS is working, so I'm going to, is working, it's calling. I'm going to decline that. I apologize if that's one of the viewers right now. Let's open up the YouTube live feed. See what it looks like.
So can you type questions in there? No.
No, info and settings.
So where can people type questions?
Good question. Here we go. Maybe. Well, we should have some background music or something. We still have the 2 viewers though. Wow, thank you very much for hanging in there.
Being patient with us.
Being very patient. Oh, setup encoding, optional features. Uh-oh, this stream is offline.
Was that yesterday's?
Maybe that was yesterday's.
Maybe you can't ask questions to yourself.
There's a little bit of a lag, isn't there? Live control room. Stream status okay. Average live view duration. Open live chat in the new window. Invalid request. Okay, well, if you have a question, you can email either Jeff or I, jeff@brilliantlabs.ca or jacob@brilliantlabs.ca. I see that we've lost 1 viewer. We're down to 1. So we'll end it here, and we'd be more than willing to help you out with...
You're back to 2 viewers.
Oh, we're back to 2 viewers. That's great.
How to allow these people to ask.
Do you want to persevere?
Well, it'd be nice if they've got questions that we could find out now. And if we can't even figure out how to ask a question, we can't really expect anybody else to.
No. I'm really glad that we don't run an educational technology organization, right?
So,
This is broadcasting internationally as well. That's great.
so there's nothing for that control room?
Live events. View live now. Wait, what are cards?
It's not going to lead us to questions.
Oh, watch for a bit. Excellent. Well, this is a shout out to Mrs. Dawn McLaughlin. Merci beaucoup d'avoir regardé notre émission aujourd'hui. Still trying to figure this out. Chat rate. Well, yeah, of course the chat rate's 0 because
I can't
can't figure it out. And if I go over here to see, what really confuses me about this Google Hangouts is you have Google Hangouts and then you have YouTube live streaming.
Right.
And I'm not sure, I know they're all owned by the same company, but I don't know why I can't just control all functionality within one of the programs, one of the applications. So enter chat message. Please ask questions here. Comments are disabled for this video. Chat is disabled for this live stream. So we have to, oh, what about settings? No?
What's Q&A? There's settings under that.
Q&A. Questions, loading.
Well, that's unfortunate. It's a one-way stream.
There's got to be a way though. Adafruit does it.
There has to be a way. You gotta enable it.
I have to figure out it. Yeah.
Sorry, viewer.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Once again, if you have questions, please email Jeff or I. Jeff@brilliantlabs.ca, Jacob@brilliantlabs.ca. Thank you very much for your patience. I'm going to close this because we're getting some terrible feedback. The Hour of Code is coming up next week, and we're pretty excited to be able to support it here at Brilliant Labs. And we have all kinds of teachers engaged in activities in New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, PEI, and we're pleased to be a part of it. Stay tuned for more live events that hopefully work from brilliantlabs.ca.
With questions.
With questions.
Enabled.